You wish to be liked. How innocent that sounds. How weak it truly is. If I were to rule you, I would not chain your hands. I would not silence your voice. I would simply whisper one command into your ear. Make them happy. And you would obey. You would betray your time, your truth, your ambition, all for approval. Listen carefully. The people pleaser within you is not kindness. It is fear dressed in polite clothing. It is the desperate need to be accepted so that you are never rejected. And the world does not reward the desperate. It consumes them. If you are to become formidable, you must perform an execution, not of others, but of that trembling part within you that begs for applause. You fear conflict. You fear being misunderstood. You fear disappointing others. And so, you agree when you should refuse. You smile when you should remain silent. You apologize when you have done nothing wrong. You call this humility. I call it surrender. Understand this. Those who seek universal approval become servants to the lowest expectations around them. When every opinion matters to you, you have no position of your own. And a man without a position is easily moved. I have observed courts, kingdoms, alliances. Power does not belong to the agreeable. It belongs to the decisive. The people pleaser waits to see what others think before forming a thought. The powerful man decides and allows others to react. Why do you crave approval so desperately? Because you believe rejection equals death. But rejection is not death. It is selection. When you attempt to please everyone, you dilute yourself into nothing. You become agreeable, harmless, forgettable. You trade respect for temporary comfort. And comfort is the most dangerous currency of all. If you wish to kill the people pleaser, begin here. Stop explaining yourself. Not every decision requires justification. Not every boundary requires a speech. When you over-explain, you signal insecurity. When you state and stand firm, you signal certainty. Certainty unsettles the weak. That is precisely why it commands respect. You believe kindness will protect you. Kindness is valuable when chosen, but compulsive niceness is manipulation in disguise. You are not being good. You are attempting to control how others perceive you. You smile to prevent anger. You agree to prevent tension. You comply to prevent abandonment. This is not virtue. It is strategy born from fear. And fear is a poor architect of character. If you want power, social, professional, romantic, you must be willing to be misunderstood. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. Let them call you difficult. What matters is that they cannot call you controllable. Observe carefully. The world tests boundaries constantly. Say no once and watch how quickly respect recalibrates. But say yes against your will and watch how quickly demands increase. The people pleaser trains others to exploit him. Every time you sacrifice your priorities to accommodate someone else's comfort, you teach them that your time is negotiable, your needs are optional, your limits are flexible. And soon, they will not even ask. They will assume. If you wish to end this cycle, you must endure discomfort. Discomfort is the price of authority. There will be moments when your refusal creates silence. Good. Silence is where power breathes. There will be moments when someone withdraws because you did not comply. Let them go. Anyone who stays only because you bend will leave the moment you stand upright. You do not need loyalty purchased through self-erasure. You need alignment built through strength. The people pleaser believes love is earned through service. The strong understand love is sustained through respect. Respect requires boundaries. Boundaries require courage. Courage requires indifference to temporary disapproval. Do you see the pattern? You cannot be both universally liked and deeply respected. Choose to execute the people pleaser. Adopt these principles. First, speak slower. Those who rush to answer often rush to accommodate. Pause. Consider. Decide. Your hesitation should not signal fear. It should signal deliberation. Second, remove unnecessary apologies. I'm sorry should not decorate every sentence. Apologize for harm, not for existence. Third, allow tension. When disagreement arises, do not rush to dissolve it. Conflict reveals hierarchy. If you collapse under it, you establish your position. Fourth, prioritize long-term authority over short-term harmony. Temporary discomfort is trivial compared to lifelong self-betrayal. You may ask, but will I not lose people? Yes, you will, and that is the point. The execution of weakness always costs you something, but what it gives you is immeasurable. Clarity, stability, self-respect. Notice how differently you walk when you are not scanning faces for approval. Notice how differently you speak when you are not calculating reactions. Notice how differently you think when you are no longer enslaved to consensus. Freedom is intimidating, not only to you, but to others. Some will resist a new version of you because the old version was easier to control. That resistance confirms you are evolving. Understand this final truth. The world does not reward goodness alone. It rewards strength guided by principle. Be fair but firm. Be composed but immovable when necessary. Be generous, but never at the expense of your dignity. When your kindness becomes a choice rather than a reflex, it transforms into power, because then it is not extracted from you. It is granted by you. The people pleaser within you is terrified of isolation, but isolation is not your enemy. Dependence is. When you can sit alone with your decisions without seeking validation, you become sovereign. And sovereignty is attractive. It is commanding. It is rare. Kill the impulse to shrink. Kill the need to be saved by approval. Kill the habit of self-betrayal, disguised as politeness, not violently, but decisively. Cut it out as a ruler would remove corruption from his court, without apology, without hesitation, without regret. And when you do, you will discover something extraordinary. You were never weak. You were simply afraid to stand alone. Stand anyway. Let them adjust, or let them leave. Either way, you remain.